measures of dispersion. Already we have found that there are four types of measures of dispersion practically. The first one is called as the range. The second one is called the quartile deviation. The third one is called the mean deviation. And the fourth one is the standard deviation, which is also coming from the variance. And there is also another type of measures of dispersion that is called the Lorentz curve. Although the Lorentz curve is not in your syllabus, we will discuss it later. So today our topics is based on the mean deviation. Previously, there was range and quartile deviation at first, then the mean deviation. So it is also known as the mean deviation and mean absolute deviation. Mean absolute deviation, and which is also known as the average deviation. Now, what is mean deviation? It is practically the average of, now look at the term, absolute deviations or amounts by which the individual items deviate from the mean and also median. We should check it. Since the positive deviations from the mean are equal to the negative deviations while computing the mean deviation, while computing the mean deviation, we ignore positive and negative signs. Okay, that's why we are taking the absolute value. As we are taking only the absolute value, that's why the average absolute deviation or the mean absolute deviation, that term is called. Okay, so let's check what symbolically it says. So symbolically, mean deviation or MD is equal to summation of mod x divided by n, where MD is equal to called the mean deviation. That is the simplest form. That is the simplest formula for the mean deviation. We would discuss it with the normal formula. How to compare with that is called the mean deviation. Modulus of x is practically the deviation of an item from the mean, ignoring positive and negative signs, and n or small n is the total number of items or the observations. Okay, let's check it with an example at first, then it will be better. At first, we are proceeding with the group data. How to find out the mean deviation from the group data. Let's the size of item given like that. Size of item and also the respective frequency of each and every class has been given. So size of item given 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10. And the frequencies are given 20, 40, 30, 10. Total frequency is now 100. We have to find out the mean deviation. So first of all, find out the midpoint of each and every class that is treated as small m. 2 to 4, its midpoint is 3. 4 to 6, its midpoint is 5. 6 to 8, midpoint 7. 8 to 10, midpoint 9. Then we have to find out the FM. F into M, that means frequency into the midpoint. Why? Because we have to find out the mean deviation. That means we have to find out the mean also at first. So F into M, that means 20 into 3 into 3, that is 60. 5 into 40, that is 200. 7 into 30, that is 210. 9 into 10, that is 90. So find out the total FM. That one is equal to 560. So what is the mean? Mean is equal to mu is equal to x bar is equal to total summation of FM divided by n. So that means 560 divided by 100 or 5.6. So that is our mean. Now we have to find out the deviations. So deviations means small d, and that is written or formed in the form of m minus x bar for each and every individual m. So that means the very first one, the mean is 5.6. So here that one should be m minus 5.6. 3 minus 5.6. So that is minus 2.6. 5 minus 5.6. So that should be minus 0.6. 7 minus 5.6. That is 1.4. Then 9 minus 5.6. So that is 3.4. Yet now the column is not completed. Why? Because for finding the mean deviation, we have to find out the absolute value. So that's why we have to find out the last column as f into modulus of d. F means 20, the first one. So 20 into the modulus of minus 2.6. That means 20 into 2.6. That is 52. Next one, 40 into modulus of 0.6. That one is equal to 24. Next one, 30 into 1.4, as that is already plus. So 30 into 1.4, that one is 42. And finally 10 into 3.4. So that means 34. So we have to find out the total summation of F into D, and that one 152. So what is the mean deviation? So we can find out the mean deviation from here. That is mean deviation or MD of X bar. That means as we are founding with the mean. So that one is equal to 1 summation of F modulus of D divided by N. And already we have found it as 152. And N, that one is 100. So 1.52 is the mean deviation. Once again, from the very first one, whatever has been given, now practically the given was the classes, size of item, and the frequencies. Then we have to find out the mean at first, and that's why we have found the midpoint, and then the FM, that means F into M, find out the mean from here. Okay, then find out the each and every individual deviations. It may be negative, it may be positive, but to find out the mean deviation, we have to find out the F into modulus of D. That's why that modulus of minus 2.6 is treated as 2.6 into the frequency like that, and we have found the total summation. Then we are proceeding with that particular formula, and we are getting the mean deviation for the group data. Let's check it if we have another one, that is for the ungrouped data. If there is the ungrouped data, then what should happen? Another problem. Suppose the problem has been given like that. Find the mean deviation about mean and also check the median. Mean and median for the following data on metabolic rates. Suppose that one unit is given calories per 24 hours on 6 individual who took part in a study of dieting. Suppose. Okay, so that means what are the data given? 1560, first one 1797, then 1642, then 1874, then 1548, another one 1437. So as usual, there are 6 individuals, so there are 6 items or observations. So first of all, we have to find out the mean, and also we have to find out the median. So that's why we are also writing it in the ascending order, the complete data in the ascending order. So in ascending order, it is 1437 at first, then 1548 second, 1560, then 1642, then 1797, okay, then 1874. Okay, in ascending order, that one. So first we are finding the mean. Mean is nothing, summation of all the data or items divided by the total number of observations. So if we add the complete data, we can find that is as 9858 divided by total number of observations 6, and we are getting as 1643. Then we have to find out the median, and for median we are writing it as x tilde, x bar for the median, x tilde. Now there are 6 items. Okay, so first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. So our median class would be 6 plus 1 by 2 or 7 by 2 or 3.5. That means the third and fourth. Third and fourth would be considered, and after that, in between the 3.5th position is there. So that means our median would be like that: 1560 plus 1642 divided by 2, or that is 1601. So that is our median, that is our mean. Let's check now how to find out the mean deviation and also the median deviation, which is also called as the mean deviation. So we are drawing the column at first. Okay, so the first of all column is the xi, that means the values: 1 4 3 7 1 5 4 8 1 5 6 0 1 6 4 2 1 7 9 7 1 8 7 4. So that is our data. Next one column would be the deviation, that means the D, and for that we are writing xi minus x bar, that means the mean. So suppose the very first one, very small, like 1437 minus the mean is 1643. So 1643. So that one is equal to minus 206. Look, minus is there. There would be no problem. Minus would be there. Next one, 1548 minus 1643. So that one is minus 95. I am not writing the subtraction for each and every one like that. The next one is minus 83. Next one is minus 1. Next one, 154. Last one, 231. That is the second column. First one is the xi in the ascending order. Second one, the mean, not mean deviations, practically the deviations for each and every item. The next column is the modulus. The modulus of D. That means practically xi minus 1643, whatever is the mean for that particular problem. So minus 206. So that means 206. Like that, that is 95. Like that, that is 83. That is 1. That is 154. That is 231. So finally, find out the total summation of mod D. That is 770. Before that, here the total summation of xi was 9858. Based on that, we have found the mean. Okay, so what is our mean deviation? And from that, we can find the mean deviation here. So mean deviation, and I am writing that mean deviation in the notation of x bar. That means the mean deviation. That is summation of all the D divided by the total number of observations, that is 6. So that is 770 divided by 6. That one is equal to 128.33. That means that is our mean deviation. Okay, but also we have to find out the median deviation. So what is our median deviation? And for that we are finding xi minus x tilde. That means here xi minus 1601 is our median. So for each and every item, that means the first one should be 1437 minus 1601. That one is equal to minus 164. Suppose the second one 1548 minus 1601. So that one should be minus 53. I am not writing each and every item. So the next one is minus 41. Next one is 41. Next one is 196. The final one 273. Then finally, we have to find out the summation of all the median deviation, but its absolute value. So at first, we are finding the absolute value, modulus of xi minus 1601. So that is 164, 53, 41, 41, 196, 273. So the total of modulus of xi minus x median is equal to 768. So what is our mean deviation? Sorry, median deviation. So that's why we are writing it as mdx tilde. So summation of xi minus x tilde upon n. That is already we found 768 divided by 6, and that one is equal to 128. Although it is called as a median deviation, practically it is called as mean deviation, because median deviation is also mean deviation is also median deviation. That's how we can find out the median deviation for the ungrouped data. Once again, the ungrouped data is in the order ascending or descending. Practically ascending order is followed. Then find out the deviations for each and every item from the mean. At first find out the mean, then the absolute values, then addition, then that one. Now, what is the formula? If we have mdx bar, that means it is written 1 by n of summation I is equal to 1 to n x by xi minus x bar. That is for ungrouped data, and that is what already we have done. That is we have written here. That is x bar for a mean. Okay, and if that is group data, that means 1 by n summation of I is equal to 1 to k or n, anything k suppose. So x I minus x bar, but up to fi, but that is for group data. Let's check, is that right or wrong? For the first one, we have done the problem based on group data, and here we have written summation of fm. M means the medium, sorry, summation of fd, not fm, that is for the mean. Then for the mean deviation, summation of fd bar or md, f into d absolute value, and d means m minus x bar. Let's check, is that right or wrong? So for group data 1 by n, so I am writing n here, summation of that fi I am writing here as f into summation of d, where d means xi minus x bar, that means m minus x bar or m minus mu, or mod of d, that means mod of m minus mu. The same formula already written here in that form. Okay, and the first one for the ungrouped data already we have done it here, that is that modulus d, that means summation of xi minus x bar, and that one, that is up to which one is the n, that means total number of observations. That is how we can find out the mean deviation, also with the median deviation. Finally, one thing we have to remember, that one here, when we are finding the value of each and that second column, look at that second column, though that is the column for the each and every item deviations from the mean. If we add those minus 206, minus 95, minus 83, minus 1, plus 154, plus 231, that must be 0. That means whatever be the data, whatever be the items, whatever be the observations given, whatever be the mean deviations we are getting for each and every item, the summation must be 0. If there is something wrong in your calculation other than 0, that means your calculation is wrong in between the table. Find out that, because mean deviation summation for each and every item must be 0 here. That is how we can find out the mean deviation and median deviation. Now, once again, suppose what are the merits and demerits of the mean deviation. First of all, the merits of mean deviation. Merits of mean deviation, the first one, the major advantage. The major advantage of mean deviation, it is very simple to understand. And second one, it is very easy to calculate also. There would be no problem. Second one, it takes into consideration each and every item in the observations. That means if we look at the examples once again, if that is ungrouped data, each and every item is in consideration. Without any item that we have missed, the calculation of mean deviation would fail, because that is also true for the group data. Each and every midpoint has been taken for the classes. Each and every frequency has been taken as in the classes. So for the consideration, each and every frequency is required. Then the summation we are getting. Then we are getting the mean deviation. So that means that is more accurate. So it takes into consideration that each and every item in the observation. Third one, the values of the extremes. Extreme means very high, extremely high or extremely low. There is no effect, have practically less effects. in calculation of mean deviation. Let's consider with the range. When we have range, there is a big effect for the extremes. Extreme means very high effect. Suppose we have the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000. So extreme high. So the range would be like that 10,000 minus 1. So here the effect is very much affecting for the range. But in the case of mean deviation, there are less effects for the extremes. And finally, the last merit that is also very important, as deviations are taken from a central value. Why the central value? Because we are considering the mean or the median. So that means the measures of central tendency, most two important, mean and median, here are involved. So as deviations are taken from a central value, it is possible to have meaningful comparisons of the formation of different distributions. So practically, these four are most important merits or advantages of the mean deviation. Next, we would proceed with the demerits. So now the demerits or the limitations of mean deviation. The first one is it is not capable of further algebraic treatment. Further algebraic treatment means if there is something wrong in the middle of the calculation, we cannot calculate it from that position. We have to calculate it from the very scratch, that means from very start. Suppose in the case of problem, if any data is wrong and we have to recalculate the mean deviation, that means we have to start it from the scratch, from the start. We cannot recalculate from middle of the calculation. Same as if that is group data, if any size of items frequency is wrong, any midpoint is wrong, any mean calculation is wrong, that means we cannot start from that position. We have to calculate each and every item from the very start. So that's why it is called as it is not capable of further algebraic treatment. Now, the second one, sometimes, very important, sometimes it may fail. That means the mean deviation. It may fail to give accurate result. Why? Moreover, the mean deviation gives best results when we consider the median as central value rather than the mean. That means mean deviation is less accurate than the median deviation. Most of the cases when we are finding the mean deviation, if we find the median deviation, that gives more accurate result. Another one thing, suppose but in a series where which has wide variations in the items, that means very big variations in the items. So median can affect, and in that case the median variation or mean variation can affect. So most of the cases when we are considering the mean variation, if we consider the median variation, that is same named as mean variation, that would be better. But when in a series there are wide variations in the items, in that case mean is giving the best central value, not the median. So in that case, if we consider the median variation, then the median variation would be affected with the good result. So first one, not capable of further algebraic treatment. Second one, accuracy is less. Third one is very important. In mathematical conception or consideration, we are all considering it in aspect of the statistical consideration. But in mathematical considerations, the method is wrong. Method is wrong. And why? Because we are avoiding the negative, the positive or negative signs for the variations and using the absolute value. So it is originally a wrong method of way or finding the mean deviation. That means in statistical considerations, okay, that is a very good measures of dispersion or variability. But in mathematical aspect, in mathematical consideration, in mathematical concept, from the angle of calculations, as we are not using the plus sign or the minus sign of the variations or the deviations, then the method is giving us some wrong conception. So those are the practical example with some merits and demerits of mean deviation.